After a few months of no racing, the Formula One season is back to give meaning to our lives and stress to our Sundays. It's lights out and away we go for the fourth year of Eaton Asphalt and the start of the 2025 F1 season. Well, buddy, Formula One commentators in Spanish used to say, si se pestañean, se lo pierde, which is like, if you blink, you miss it. And I feel like I blinked and I missed it completely. But we're back. The off season's over. We're washing cars again. And we're getting stressed out by our favorite drivers and teams.
Yeah, I just want to start off. You did not have to explain that to me, though. Obviously, two guys fluent in Spanish. We don't
Two
need the
guys.
English translation, so but
I'm
I
pretty sure I
appreciate it.
botched it too. I'm pretty sure I botched
Yeah,
it.
no, you did.
Yeah.
I saw I was like, I messed up those words right there.
Yeah, you knew what was going on. Well, welcome back, everybody. Thanks for
Yeah, dude.
listening. Year 4, 2025 season. We got a lot of fun stuff to talk about. On this episode, we have a little special sector by Marco, some TikTok thoughts, tick thoughts. We're bubbling up with we're testing the waters with some different stuff. We have Ask the Expert, country fun facts, wildcard predictions, and our predictions and gambling. So let's start off. Go ahead, Marco. Take us away with what happened in the offseason. Yeah.
Nero. All right. What happened this offseason? Obviously, I'm just gonna kind of go down the list, add a little commentary, but obviously, number one, Lewis to Ferrari, the red. Finally got to see it. I thought that was absolutely fantastic. It still doesn't feel like normal by any means. I still even seeing the Ferrari name next to him just doesn't add up to me. But very excited. It will be just a cool little fresh look. That's something that we've been used to since ever becoming a fan of F1. Moving on, Cadillac. This is not going to be impacting the 2025 season, but in 2026, the 11th team to join the grid. Apparently, Michael Andretti is not going to be a part of this crew. They kind of were like, if you want to be in here, we hate that guy. He can't be a part of it. So that's going on. Apparently, they already have a whole area in Silverstone area, which I feel like that was preemptively like a little shooting the gun a little early, being like, we're for sure gonna get this.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I didn't understand that. I was like, is this already done?
I think I'm pretty sure it's like it's all
Yeah,
wrapped up. Once the F1 account posts something about it on Instagram, that's in my brain where I'm like, oh, okay, it's real. It's actually
yeah.
real. Colton Herta thrown around as a potential driver for Andretti. What do you think about that?
Uh, I mean, can't think of a better American other than him. We
It's
learned that
just
another American probably doesn't. I mean, we made another American retire from motor racing basically with not even a full year in Formula One. So yeah, got to try someone else, I guess.
Yeah, it's just after all these years, it's good to see an American team on the grid,
Mm-hmm.
right?
A successful American team. Yes.
An actual
Yes. Yeah.
American
One that we can
represents
all
American
support.
values.
Yes. Yeah. What else did I have? Obviously, I think going to be just a high discussion point this entire season. 6 new rookies. Got a rookie joining Haas, Sauber, RB, Mercedes, Alpine, and Red Bull. It's just going to be, I think, compared to last year, which was the first time I think in Formula One history where the grid did not change at all.
Yep.
We have one of the most
The most.
change in movement in like Formula One history and just completely switched up the grid back to back years.
It's funny you mentioned that actually, because I did my homework on these guys. Some of them I don't know, right? Some of like I don't know who Isaac Hajar is. I've never watched him race.
Mm-hmm.
So I did a little research for the wonderful listeners of the Eaton Asphalt podcast. And we have 6 rookies this year, as Marco mentioned. So we're going to do a little bit of a rookie rundown here. I'm going to tell you the rookie and their team, a little blurb about them. So joining Red Bull and taking the seat of Sergio Perez is Liam Lawson. We know Liam, 23-year-old New Zealander, joins Red Bull as Max Verstappen's teammate. He finished 3rd in Formula 2 in 2022, impressed as a reserve driver, got a couple of licks at it, and then, impressed even more when he was actually on the, on the track. Joining Mercedes, Andrea Andrea Kimi Antonelli fills the enormous shoes of Lewis Hamilton. Only 18 years old, this guy. He's 18 years old, only 1 year older than Max Verstappen when Max started. Raced with Mercedes in the junior program since he was 11. So he feels at home. Familiar name, Ollie Behrman, joining Haas. Only driver to start his official rookie season after finishing 18th in the F1 standings the previous year. He stepped in when Carlos Sainz had appendicitis, then again when Kevin Magnussen was suspended by the FIA, then again when Kevin Magnussen got sick in Brazil. So he's been around the block a couple times. I think he is still technically a rookie, but he has arguably one of the more experienced rookies we've ever seen here. Jack Doohan joining Alpine, Australian, who is son of MotoGP legend Mick Doohan. We know Mick,
Of course.
obviously.
He was on the show.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I think we're gonna get him on.
Mick.
MotoGP winner 5 times in a row in the 90s. So I think 94 through 99. So championship. There's champion driver there. Gabriel Bortoleto goes to Sauber, Brazilian, won F3 in 2023. Sauber investing pretty heavy in him. I think he's one of the only drivers with a multi-year deal who's a rookie. Sounds pretty awesome for him. The only downside is that he has to race for Sauber. And then finally, Isaac Hajar for the Racing Bulls. Marco, pop quiz. Isaac's nationality is part French and part what? Did you say Algerian?
Yes.
That was crazy.
I did say that.
I thought I was going to catch you sleeping. Yeah, the only driver with Algerian heritage to grace the F1 stage. These are our rookies, our freshmen, our sweet hatchlings getting pushed out of the nest. We will see if or how they fly. But yeah, a little bit of a rookie rundown. I got really excited learning about these rookies. It's like, look at all these
young
kids.
bucks. Yeah, something
pinch their cheeks.
Yeah, something like new. Going into last year, it was like we know everyone. We kind of know each of these drivers, who they are, how they are. Getting like to have, even for us, they're getting in the cars, they're figuring out what the hell Formula One is. It takes us a little time to figure out who these guys are too. Personality wise, it's gonna be exciting.
Yeah, I think anytime I think rookies, I think of like the rookie, like the team that had 2 rookies, and the last one that comes to mind is Haas when they put Mick Schumacher out there and our boy Nikita Mazepin, and those were enough fireworks where it's just like rookies in my brain immediately get excited.
Yeah. Hopefully. Do like anyone have like weird pasts like Nikita that we can like utilize?
It's not been reported yet, so we're gonna leave it as a no for right now.
Yeah.
Right now.
Other things I want to talk about. Speaking of rookies, though, I just have seen stuff past couple of weeks. Jack Doohan almost already out at Alpine, basically before the season started. They're just like, yeah, Franco's like going to be like replacing you here in a couple races, basically is what I've been hearing. So, yeah, I mean, just like a short leash on this guy.
Yeah, that's like, hey, we know you're a rookie and we know you're probably really nervous stepping into the sport. We're gonna make you 10 times more nervous, and that way, if he doesn't completely bust out, then it's like, hey, we know this guy's meant to stay in Formula One.
Yeah, I think I saw something that they're like, we're gonna reevaluate you after 7 races, and we might. It's like, okay, all right, let's do it.
Deep breaths, buddy.
Yeah, actually, I mean, if I'm him, I'm like, dude, I'm either in the points or I'm crashing. Like, I have to go for it.
Also, like on that side, on the Alpine side, did you hear Esteban Ocon got caught being a little naughty when he was driving an Alpine, an Alpine car, and went to go visit with Haas, and they were like, "Hey, we have a GPS tracker in your car. We know you're here. What are you doing here?" And he's like, "None of your business. Actually, that's a HIPAA violation.
Don't worry about it."
Yeah, chill, dude. Relax.
Dude, my Waze just took me down a couple down. This freaking Apple, am I right? It's crazy.
Apple Maps sucks.
Yeah, and switching to Starlink. The other things I wanted to talk about, not really or on the grid relevant F1 movie come out this year. Just seen so much kind of behind the scenes, behind the paddock of them filming kind of during races ish, during like practice sessions. I am actually pretty stoked for this movie. So that is something to look forward to, especially if this season kind of sucks, which I don't think it will be, but at least you could be like, hey, at least there's a movie that looks like things are going to be close this year.
Yeah. So I think July, or when did I see it? June 27th is when the release date's going to come out for that. So we're going to be pretty close to like summer break. And
Yeah.
so for the times of summer break, we can just rewatch that
Dude,
on
I don't know why
Sundays.
they didn't do that on day one of summer break. I think that would have been like an easy sell. Just like, got nothing to do, no more Formula One. Formula One.
The only movie with a Sunday release date instead of like a
Yeah,
Thursday night.
just trying to. People are going to be loving this. The last thing I had was Mohammed bin Saloom, the FIA president, is just crashing down. I'm swearing.
Yeah, what a dude. What
What's that up? So that will be interesting. I'm really curious to see how serious this goes, especially using like the mics. This would be the first time in sports history getting condemned for swearing, even if you're like not on. I get, maybe interviews like, hey, don't do that. But if you're like on the hot mic driving and you cuss, and you're like, no, 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 $10,000.
The only way to make this fair is to attach a mic to Ben Sulamalayan
Mm-hmm.
and have him go about his day at work. And if he cusses once, then he has to pay the same fine the Formula One drivers do.
Yeah, no, I'm sure he like doesn't have a lot of money. I'm sure that'll hurt him a lot.
All right. What's 40 lashings for every F?
Right. I want to get into hot water. Let's do it. Yeah.
All
Yeah, that
right.
did it all for my news for 2025. Did anything I missed? Any big ones that I missed?
I think the only other one was the livery reveal. So this year for the
Mhm.
75th anniversary of our beloved sport Formula One, they did, instead of individual liveries, right, revealed where you can kind of chirp, so another team goes like, that sucks, ugly, boring. They made all of them in the O2 arena happen at once. I think in retrospect, if you asked somebody about this, they were like somebody in charge about this, they would say like, this is probably a mistake. Like we shouldn't do this because it just seemed to be like, how like the Academy Awards or Oscars, like I used to watch it when I was a kid, it's like kind of cringy. It felt like that for the whole time. Bad jokes being made, like nobody seemed like really happy to be there. Max Verstappen got booed and he was like, I'm never coming to any
Yeah,
event again for this
yeah,
chance.
you just ruined me. I would
uh,
agree if I actually watched it. I disagree because I didn't watch it and I got the highlights of all the actual like kind of funny stuff that the main guy did. He was had a couple of hitters, I thought, and so from not watching it, not spending multiple hours watching it, and just getting like the top tier stuff, I was a fan.
Not watching it, only getting the top highlights of watching it, I was a fan, is probably how 90% of American F1 fans are with watching races on Sunday instead.
I'm just here with my people.
It's just like when they actually like I didn't watch the race, but I watched the highlights. I think
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
most
It's
of the
like,
people.
another win for Max. Okay, cool. Like, damn, dude, I just fucking stayed up. I was up at 4 a.m. watching this, but
You
I'm
just dropped
glad
an
you
F bomb.
weren't.
You just dropped an F bomb, 25 cents in the swear jar for Ben.
I mean, we're getting bleeped anyway. We're fine.
Hopefully, Jordan, see if you can learn how to bleep us.
Bleep every cuss word.
All right, that's all the news that I got. Nice little off-season catch up. Let's move on.
All right, moving on to Tick Thoughts, fastest thoughts, work in progress for that. But my theme of the 2025 season is how I'm interpreting 2025 is going to go for a lot of these teams is pushing it off to next year, because I think I can think of at least 4, maybe 5 teams that will say that they're just giving up on 2025 already. And then like 2026 and beyond is going to be something that they actually focus on. Aston Martin, Adrian Newey coming in basically not even 2 months ago. I think all focus for him is to work on the future. And like, he came in so late, nothing he can do with this car. Maybe improve it a tiny bit, but I think they're going to be like, it's fine as long as we can keep Fernando Alonso happy enough to stick in this car for 2026 onward. That's kind of their main goal. Haas, not only do they have two new drivers, one being his first full season in Formula One, but they also have 2 new race engineers and a plethora of new additional people coming in this year. So I think they just understand basically a completely brand new team. They're going to have struggles at the beginning. Hopefully, the first half, big struggles. Second half kind of picks it up and picks some steam going into 2026. But the year as a whole is probably going to be like, hey, I mean, there's just too much shit.
Yeah.
Williams, I think the last 3 years or ever since James Vowles has joined this team, he's basically said 2026 is going to be the year that we focus on, break every part of the car, test every single thing up until then, until 2026. This isn't 2026. So again, I think they're going to just keep hammering that. Um, I wish I had a super high paying job that I could say like, yeah, 2020 or like 2030, that's going to be the year that I'm going to really pop off. Don't worry about the years leading into that.
Yep.
Still pay me a ton of money, and my success does not matter as long as I come in for that year and I kill it.
Yeah.
Hopefully I
Basically,
do.
doesn't count. Doesn't count
Yeah.
if we do bad until the
Yeah.
future.
And then if I don't do good, my bad, you can get rid of me. Thanks for paying me for 5 years for sucking. Hand up, my bad. The other teams, I thought Sauber, similar to Haas, two new drivers, one being a rookie. This is also like undoubtedly the worst car in the grid right now this year. Everyone expecting them to be dead last. And then I think they're just going to be like, hey, this is Sauber, Audi 2026 onward, completely different team. That's what our focus is on as well. And then you can make the argument for RB. It sounds like they're doing some major strategy changes to get like a little bit more in line and closer to Red Bull. Obviously, that's going to take some time, and then you sprinkle on a rookie on top of that. So I do think that they're going to have some struggles even more this year than they have the last couple of years. So it's just going to be a lot of teams being like, "It's fine, 2025 is whatever."
It's like the asterisk season. So if you win this season, if Ferrari wins this season with Lewis Hamilton,
oh fuck, okay.
It's gonna be just a big asterisk of like, well, no one was trying, dude.
Yeah.
It's like winning the COVID basketball championship.
Yeah.
It's like, all right, sick. No one
Like
cares.
no one was watching. Yeah. Also, 2026 regulations come in completely different to everything. So it's like this is like the last year of a lot of just the same, like a similar car that we've seen the last couple of years. So
Yeah,
it's kind of going to be yeah.
I just saw the Alpine is using their 2024 car, just using the same one. There's no chassis enhancements. It was good. If it's not broke, don't fix it. That sucker got them P6, I think.
They did. I mean, that second half of the year was substantial.
They
Remember
did
how
pop
bad
off.
they were at the beginning? I mean, they were the Sauber going into this year, and then they figured it out.
They did, dude. So
I don't hate that. If they're like, hey, we were picking up some steam. Let's not touch anything.
Yeah.
Don't touch a thing.
They just gave all the engineers the winter off.
Yeah, they're like fine.
You
It's
guys are
just
good.
some cobwebs when they get back. They're like, perfect.
They're dusting off for P1.
All right. That does it for my take thoughts. Moving on to Ask the Expert. So I'm interviewee. I'm asking Ian, our resident Formula One expert, knows all about gambling, knows about the details about everything. So I'm going to just ask, let's get it on the table. Let's get his like in-depth knowledge of what he thinks 2025 is going to be. Just going to shoot down some questions for you, see what your initial thoughts. Haven't prepared for this at all, so I'm sure he's going to appreciate this. First question: how many wins does Lewis Hamilton have this year?
How many wins does he have this year?
Like the 2025 seasons. Talking about
in the 2025 season. So he's gonna have. See, that's a tricky one. McLaren's gonna be good, but Ferrari's gonna be up there with them, and he's gonna sneak out a couple. So I'm gonna say 3 by default, but because of the Lewis factor, you double it, so it's 5 wins.
Double -1.
Double -1 is always the rule with Lewis Hamilton.
Okay, so 5 wins on that. I like it. I'm going to remove this one. Is who will be the worst team, worst driver? I think I've kind of just like played the hand on Sauber is probably the answer for that one, unless you have something different.
Yeah, I would.
Yep,
no, I would say Gabriel Bortoleto for Sauber.
Yep, that's nice. I did see an article. There was like, oh, he's in a great position. He's like his teammates Hulk, and he's not going to be in the limelight. I was like, yeah, but he's also going to be 20th out of 20th almost every time. Like, is that a great position to be in? Anyways, will Liam Lawson make it the whole year as a Red Bull driver?
Yes.
Whoa.
Yes.
Rookie Red Bull drivers don't do very
purely based off of me just liking who he is, listening
Yeah.
to the podcast, listening to him talk, like his interviews. Like I just like the guy, and yeah, that's just wishful thinking. I know the track record of Red Bull and rookie drivers, but I mean, they held on
with
with
Yuki
Sergio.
too. So like, kind of feel like they
Yeah.
kind of did a toss up and went with Liam. And I bet Yuki's like, hey, if he starts struggling, I expect, and he does okay or good, You'd expect
I
the Red Bull to always
yes.
they pull the sheets pretty quick.
I just like Yuki at Racing Bull. I like him at that team.
I don't think he would like you saying that.
I don't care, dude. He
uh,
does though. He does. He told me he was like, stop talking shit.
Stop about that. I want to get promoted. What driver will surprise and outperform their teammate? Like a driver that's supposed to be your number two that you think would actually end up with higher points than their number one. Quote
I'm gonna say
unquote.
Ollie Behrman and against Esteban Ocon.
Like that.
I
Like that a lot.
I think he's like technically a rookie, but
Yeah.
I think he has like the cut and enough of an experience to be like I can put up a fight. And I think Esteban Ocon, I mean, you didn't ask this, but this is the year that Esteban Ocon blows up and loses his mind completely and has a mental breakdown.
Oh, so he just like shows his true colors.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Last one, easy or a question everyone gets asked: constructor, drivers, winner.
Constructor winner McLaren, driver winner Lando Norris.
Such a twat. All right, that does it for Ask the Expert. Let's. I will remember all these responses, of course. We'll circle back at the end of the year.
Okay, except for that last one, buddy. Two truths and a lie for the first race of the season. This one's in Australia. I'm gonna go first here. My two truths and a lie. We're gonna break them up in categories. So first category: Batman, bananas, and camels. Batman, bananas, camels. First one: Batman. Melbourne, second biggest city in the country, was almost called Batmania. The city of Melbourne was initially named Batmania because of John Batman, who discovered the settlement in 1835, later renamed Melbourne after a British Prime Minister. Batman. Second one is bananas. The Sydney Opera House design, the iconic Sydney Opera House, an absolutely unforgettable Australian landmark with its unmistakable architecture, was inspired by the shape of a banana bunch. Third one, camels. Australia has a significant feral camel population, which was introduced in the mid 1800s. Excuse me, many were released into the wild, and today Australia exports camels to Saudi Arabia.
Damn.
Batman, bananas, or camels?
Strong here. I am gonna go with stuck between two, but I don't want people waiting. I'm gonna go with camels.
Camels is true. They actually do export camels to Saudi Arabia.
And then I'm gonna go with bananas.
Bananas is the lie there.
I was like,
actually...
it looks like it, but I was like, am I? I started second guessing myself. I was like, I'm too dumb. There's no way that guy would think like bananas. Let's do it. All right, good start for Ian. All right, my topics are going to be beach please, animal drug use, and landscaping.
This is the worst Jeopardy game ever.
All right, beach please. Australia has approximately 5,000 beaches. Number two, animal drug use. There have been instances of wallabies getting high after breaking into opium crops, then running around and making what look like crop circles similar to science fiction thriller Signs, the movie. And number three, landscaping. Australia is home to the longest fence in the world, originally built to keep dingoes away from the fertile land. The fence is now 5,600 kilometers long. Great Wall does not count as a fence.
5,600 chlamydias long. I'm going to say beach please is the lie there.
That is correct.
Yeah, let's go. 5,000 beaches is a lot of beaches.
Guess what? There's 10,000, over 10,000 beaches.
Oh my God, dude. Not enough beaches.
Yeah, dude. You really undersold the beaches.
All right. Good stuff with country fun facts. Let's move on to some wildcard predictions. All right, wildcard predictions here. We're gonna change from what we did of giving you like a bunch of a bunch of predictions and just go with our wildcard. Our wildcard was our favorite one, so we're gonna do that. Marco, my wildcard prediction is that we are gonna see a rookie on the podium this weekend.
Okay. My wildcard prediction is going to be that there will be more than 7 crashes or DNFs this race.
More than 7 this weekend. Oh, the whole
7
weekend?
Or more this weekend.
This weekend, so not just the race. You're talking practice.
Just the race.
Just the race.
On Sunday.
7 or more. All right. Let's
So
root for some
13 or
chaos.
less finish the race. A lot of rookies. A lot of rookies don't know what they're doing out there. They're getting a little
That's
nervous.
true.
Got a lot of engine in between their legs,
6-car pile up, and it's all
Yeah.
rookies. Love it. All right, and let's finish with our predictions and gambling. I'm going to start slow this year. I got off pretty far off the tracks last year, so I'm going to start slow and say Carlos Sainz in the points at -175. Carlos Sainz in the points, -175. Book it. Oscar Piastri on the podium, -105. That's a steal. They're begging you to take that.
I like that as well. But the 1 unit each for those?
1 unit each.
Okay. I'm just doing one heavy hitter. This seems too good to be true. Also, I'm going to take the field over Lando Norris. The field is -250. 2 units.
This is just a hater bet. You're just doing
no,
a hater
dude.
bet.
It seems like there's too many other good drivers that I feel like Lando Norris at +175 or +185 just seems a little too unlikely.
All right.
Max Verstappen, stud. Lewis Hamilton, stud. Leclerc, stud. Too many studs out here. Putting it all together, -250. I mean, that's just easy money.
Easy. All right, everybody. There it is. First episode of season 4 of the Eaton Asphalt podcast. Appreciate everybody for listening. We'll see you on the other side of the Australian Grand Prix.
See you, assholes.
See you, assholes.
Hey, thought you could leave without saying goodbye.
I used to say I lived my life a quarter mile at a time. And I think that's why we were brothers. Because you did too.